Thank you for joining with me for the meditation of Lesson 72. Holding grievances is an attack on God's plan for salvation. Go ahead and sit with your back supported, head and neck free. Do a few head rolls, nice and slow, and just feel the tension leave your neck and shoulders. The light of truth is in us, where it was placed by God. It is the body that is outside us and is not our concern. Our goal today is to become aware that God's plan for salvation has already been accomplished in us. To achieve this goal, we must replace attack with acceptance. As long as we attack, we cannot understand what God's plan for us is. So we are attacking what we do not recognize. We are going to try to lay judgment aside and ask what God's plan for us is. So start with the 4x breath in through the nose for a count of 4. Hold it at the top. Exhale slowly for a count of 8 through your mouth. Hold it at the bottom. Go ahead and repeat that 4 times. What is salvation, Father? I do not know. Tell me that I may understand. What is salvation, Father? I do not know. Tell me that I may understand. Wait in silence and He will answer. We have attacked God's plan for salvation without waiting to hear what it is. We have shouted our grievances that we have not listened to His voice. We have used our grievances to close our eyes and stop our ears. Now we would see and hear and learn. What is your salvation, Father? What is salvation? Ask and you will be answered. Seek and you will find. We are no longer asking the ego. We are asking of truth. Be certain then that the answer will be true because of whom you ask. Repeat your question and your request as often as necessary. What is salvation, Father? I do not know. Tell me that I may understand. Be determined to hear. What is salvation, Father? Holding grievances is an attack on God's plan for salvation. In viewing the lessons as a series, different movements in a gigantic symphony, we see how each one is a part of the larger whole. The lessons building upon themselves as the music of forgiveness evolves. In this lesson, Jesus talks a great deal about the body, yet it is not the body that is the problem, but our belief in it. This defends against the body's source, the guilt in our minds. I'm going to go ahead and read this from chapter 18, section 8. God cannot come into a body, nor can you join him there. Limits on love will always seem to shut him out and keep you apart from him. The body is a tiny fence around a little part of a glorious and complete idea. It draws a circle infinitely small around a very little segment of heaven, splintered from the whole, proclaiming that within it is your kingdom, where God can enter not. When we hold grievances, they are always against a body. If I'm going to hate, there must be a body out there to be hated. Jesus is helping us realize that our grievances always deal with bodies, the antithesis of our and our brother's identity as spirit. Jesus urges us to remember his truth when we are tempted to forget our function and embrace the illusion of attack and judgment. Recall that judgment is motivated by the decision not to hear the voice that speaks for the atonement, the salvation from separation and pain. Such recollection brings to mind our purpose of remembering the love that is the answer to all our problems and concerns. So, one or perhaps two shorter practice periods, an hour, will be enough for today, since they will be somewhat longer than usual. So they should begin with, holding grievances is an attack on God's plan for salvation. Let me accept it instead. What is salvation, Father? Then wait a minute or so in silence, with your eyes closed if you're able to, and listen for his answer. So today we have fewer practice periods than before, so we can see how Jesus does not want us to be bound by a rigid structure. His goal is for us to be dependent on the content of his message, not the form in which it comes and with which we practice. Thus, he varies the form of the daily exercises, though hardly their content. What is salvation, Father? Tell me that I may understand. I love you. Thank you so much for joining with me. I hope you enjoyed this meditation, and I will see you tomorrow. Have a beautiful day.